Before we dive in, if you enjoy stories like this, make sure to hit subscribe. I promise you won't want to miss what happens next. I opened the door to my wife's company lavish party. The music abruptly stopped. Every face in the room frozen like we were in a photograph. The chandeliers scattered light across the marble floor, but the shine didn't reach my chest. It was heavy with suspicion before I even realized it. The first thing I noticed was her, Julia, dressed in a shimmering emerald gown that caught every reflection, laughing too loudly, holding a glass that she had no business holding in my imagination. Her smile faltered the instant she saw me. That tiny pause, it said everything. I had been texting her all evening. What time will you be home? My message went unanswered for over an hour. Then, don't forget the kids' dinner. Still nothing. I thought maybe she'd be stuck at work. Maybe something came up. But my gut, that ugly little thing in my stomach, whispered otherwise. The room smelled of expensive perfume and champagne, mingling with the faint metallic tang of anxiety rising in my throat. Coworkers glanced at me, whispered, nudged, but their faces blurred. I only had eyes for her, the way she turned slightly towards someone I didn't recognize, a hand brushing against theirs with familiarity that froze me in place. I stepped further into the room, trying to keep my voice steady, trying to convince myself I was imagining things. Julia! My words barely crossed the noise barrier. She caught my gaze, then quickly averted it, pretending to speak to a colleague. The music kicked back on, but the moment was gone. My mind raced, texts unanswered, unexplained absences, a subtle shift in her tone over the last few months. Had I missed something? Was this just an innocent work party or something else? A server brushed past me with a tray of glasses, and I noticed a tiny detail. Her phone lying face up on a nearby table, a single message glowing. Can't wait to see you tonight, Red Heart. My chest tightened. My heart beat faster. And just like that, the room felt smaller, the laughter louder, and the betrayal closer. I froze, unsure if I want to confront her here, in front of everyone, or run out and never look back. But before I could move, someone whispered my name from behind, and I turned. And that's when I saw him. I stepped back, trying to process the man before me. His presence was impossible to ignore. A tall, confident stranger with a smile that didn't belong in this room, yet somehow fit perfectly beside Julia. My fingers tightened around the stem of my empty glass. The ice long melted. Julia's eyes widened, a mix of guilt and panic flashing for the briefest moment before she forced a laugh and placed her hand over his arm. "Mark, this is my husband," she said, her voice strained, unnatural. The way she said husband, like it was a label she hadn't worn in years, stung more than any slap. I wanted to speak, to demand answers, but my throat refused. The room blurred. Voices became muffled. Glasses clinking turned into distant echoes. I remembered the texts I'd sent, the "where are you?" messages that went unanswered. The little lies she told me over the last few months. Working late night meetings, sudden trips with colleagues. Every excuse, every shrug, every late night call I dismissed as paranoia. It all crashed down like a storm. And then it hit me. All the subtle signs I had ignored. The way she always checked her phone first thing in the morning. The way she laughed a little too intimately at his messages. The way our conversations dwindled to logistical updates about bills, groceries, the kids. I had thought it was stress. I had thought it was fatigue. I had been blind. Mark's hand brushed hers again. Not just casually, not just friendly, intimate, possessive. And Julia didn't pull away. I finally found my voice, shaking and low. "Who is he?" My words cut through the party chatter, sharp enough to silence the room again. Julia opened her mouth, hesitated, then whispered something I wasn't ready to hear. "It's not what you think, or maybe it is." I laughed bitterly, the sound alien to me. My chest heaved. "Not what I think. Then explain it to me, right here. Tell everyone why my wife is holding hands with someone else, smiling like she's mine to forget." Her eyes filled with tears, but they weren't mine. They weren't remorse. They were regret, or maybe fear being caught. Before I could take another step toward clarity, Mark leaned in slightly, lowering his voice so only she could hear. Whatever he said, her entire posture shifted. Her smile returned, softer now, but there. and the lie, the betrayal, became undeniable. I realized in that instant, this wasn't a one-time mistake. This was months of deception, carefully hidden behind meetings, texts, and late nights. My life, the marriage I thought was solid, was built on shadows. And I didn't know if I wanted to scream, leave, or confront them both. But before I could decide, Julia grabbed my arm and whispered a single, terrifying sentence. "Don't ruin this for the kids yet." Her words hit me like a hammer. Don't ruin this for the kids yet. My hands went cold, my mind spinning. Yet, what did that even mean? Was she asking me to pretend? To swallow this betrayal like a bitter pill for the sake of our family? My chest ached with a mix of rage and disbelief. I stepped back, pulling free from her grip. The party around us felt unreal, like a scene from a movie, everyone frozen in their own polite ignorance. But I didn't care about them. I cared about the woman who had vowed to love me, who had promised to be honest, and the man who had taken her in the shadows. I looked at Julia, my voice calm but heavy. "You've made your choice," I said, each word deliberate. "You didn't just lie to me. You built a life in secret that I didn't even know existed." Her eyes welled up, but I didn't flinch. Tears didn't erase months of deception. Mark shifted uncomfortably, sensing my storm, but I ignored him. This was between us. The two of us, or rather, the three of us in this room that had been a battlefield of lies. "You think I'll ruin things for the kids?" I asked quietly, my gaze dropping to the floor where I could almost see my family shattered. "No, I'll protect them from this. But I can't protect you from the truth anymore." Julia's sobs broke through the polished facade. "Please, we can work it out." I shook my head. "No, working it out requires honesty, and there hasn't been an ounce of that in months." I turned and walked toward the exit, my heart pounding, the room whispering behind me. The chandelier's light reflected one last time off the marble floor, glittering like shattered glass. Every step away felt like reclaiming a piece of myself. Outside, the cold night air hit me, sharp and cleansing. I took a deep breath. Pain, betrayal, heartbreak, all of it was there, raw and unfiltered. But so was clarity. I didn't need to destroy them. I didn't need to scream, to fight, to cry in front of a crowd. I only needed to take back my life. I pulled out my phone and typed one message to Julia. "We need to talk, but not tonight, not here." Then I deleted it. Some conversations weren't meant for instant resolution. They were meant to mark an ending. I walked to my car, feeling the weight of months lifting with every step. My marriage was broken, yes, but I was still whole. And for the first time in a long time, I realized I could breathe again, unchained from lies.